Yo, what's up, guys? TheInsaneGameFreak here again, AnimeRealTalkTv, and today we're having another discussion. But this one isn't going to be on shonen. Well, not directly shonen anyway. This is going to be on harems and romance animes, just to have a pure-blooded discussion about something different, and just kind of go through my reasons, the things I like and dislike about harems and romance. And the reason why I say harems and romance is because some of the things about romance-based anime kind of link with harems. So, but mainly harems. This will mainly be about harems with a little bit of romance thrown in here. And yes, I know Math would probably be better than this than I would, because Math watches way more ecchi.
I'm sitting there enjoying my fucking glorious fats of bouncing titties and sudden gust of wind and skirts flying up while you go back to your Seinfeld.
He's like the ecchi king. But I don't care. I'm TheInsaneGameFreak. I do what I want. Let's do this. Let's go. So, anyways, so the thing I enjoy about harems, it's okay. The first major pro to harems is that they're romance anime with more freedom, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, a lot of basic romance anime are just kind of slice of life situations, but when it comes to harems, they can do a lot of ridiculous shit, which is what I enjoy. My love for harems, and on top of that, you have multiple different girls that can have multiple different personalities and get multiple different setups for character development. The fact that also a female will be a lead for once, because no offense, but anime women get shafted a lot in a lot of main set stories. No, I mean, it's anime, so obviously you can find stories with women leads and them kicking ass, but I kind of like harems because they're more prone to do that. The problem is that with that being said, it's usually a lot of fan service and pandering to their, assets, quote unquote. Assets. Wow, I probably just said asset, but anyway. That really fucked me up. But, to me, it's like another genre for anime to show off women. Now, the con I have with this is that because harems are set up to be like romance between multiple different girls and also show off the girls, along with the fan services, one of the cons I have is that some animes are really annoying with the characters they choose, like the character archetypes they choose for the girls, or how they set up the story. And the two examples that are the most hated for me, at least for the few harems I have watched, it's probably Mahabarajo and Rosario+Vampire. Now, Rosario+Vampire, I didn't watch the anime, but I have been reading the manga. And I'm about 6 volumes into the first season of the manga. And the biggest annoying thing is that fucking Rosario+Vampire probably has the most annoying setup for the characters. Considering that the romance isn't even balanced in this series. I hate harems that fucking do this stupid, it's a romantic series and there's like 4 girls that could possibly become the main character's love interest. And yes, I am shipping, because in our harem you should be allowed to ship. For God's sakes, romance is like half the damn series in harems. And Rosario+Vampire is an example of a harem that doesn't fucking do that. Those fucking harems that are blatantly biased. It won't even fucking attempt to try to show any development between these characters. I mean, for God's sakes, the majority of Rosario+Vampire, at least out of the 6 volumes I read, is majorly based around Tsukune, the male character, and Mocha, the female character. Mind you, there are like 3 other girls, or 4 other girls, that are in this quote-unquote harem. But they focus so much on fucking Mocha that it's like, why the fuck? It's like, why even call this a harem? Just call this a fucking romance, because there's like these small sections for the other girls, like either their introductory section or a small side section, and then they just focus on this one chick, and it's really fucking annoying when they make it blatantly obvious, because it's like harems, you're either gonna ship or you're looking for the fan service. Now, mind you, I don't mind the fan service. That's not the main reason why I watch harems. I watch harems for kind of a fun, chilled out romance series. Not saying they can't be dark and intellectual. I'm just saying fucking most harems aren't, and they're usually on some love romance shit, but it's more on a fun level. And I'm sorry, Rosario+Vampire does the stupid bias shit with Mocha and just kind of neglects the other 3 or 4 girls, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, I can understand you putting focus on a girl for a little while, but Jesus Christ, the majority of the beginning of Rosario, even okay, look, the first season of Rosario+Vampire has 10 volumes. I'm at volume 6, and the majority of these 6 volumes have been based around Mocha. That is fucking horrible. I'm sorry, like that's just aggravating to me. Mahabarajo has the same problem because, well, no, for a second, Mahabarajo isn't as blasphemous with it, but it's just annoying, and it gets into a secondary problem I have. The secondary problem I have is what they choose for female leads. You know, if you're gonna do this bias bullshit, I mean, let me first say, all harems have a lead female surrounded by like the rest of the girls who all want the main character after some situations or one or another. Some of these female leads are just really bad. I'm gonna compare 3 of them right now. I'm gonna compare Musubi from Sekirei, Mocha, Rosario+Vampire, and Yuna from Mahabarajo. Now, out of these three female leads, I prefer Musubi. But let me just explain the difference between these. Yuna is what falls into the category of obsessed stalker fangirl. And when I say stalker, I mean it's like she threw her panties at the main character, Shikamori, when they were 10, and just had like this stupid invisible line connecting them to each other until they were like 16 or 17 when they re-meet or some shit. Because that's what it feels like. Like her whole character is that her running joke is that she gets jealous anytime another girl gets near him. And I hate that joke. That's like the most annoying joke for these type of characters, the stalker characters, is that they spaz out. Mocha is like your nice girl character, but she's not necessarily incredibly sweet. She's just the problem with Mocha is that she's just insanely generic, and I'm just sitting there going, really? That's all you're gonna do with her? Like, she feels generic as shit. Musubi, to me, comes off the most shonen, is like the shonen-ish, ditzy shonen-ish main character, where like the thing about all these main female leads in harems is that usually like the idealistic characters. The problem with these characters is that when you have them like Yuna and Mocha, where they're perceived to be smart, it makes no fucking sense why they're idealistic, because most smart characters aren't idealistic, and it's not charming to see a stalker character be idealistic because they're already stalkers. Like, I don't want to fucking care. I don't care if Yuna is in love with Shikamori because she's already proven to be like the stalker character. Don't sit here and tell me she's smart, because it contradicts it. Mocha is just too much in the middle, and I kind of prefer Musubi to that, or Jubei from Samurai Girls, because they're childlike manner. Like in the second review I did on my Game Edit channel, I said that she reminds me of Luffy. The reason why is because she's very ditzy, she eats a lot, and she has like this very idealistic mindset that I enjoy about Shonen Jump heroes. So having a shonen-ish main character female was enjoyable as fuck to me. Actually, that's the other thing I like about harems, is the fact that you know, on top of having multiple girls, they all have their different sets of personalities, and I don't have to deal with the same 2 characters for fucking 20 or however many episodes and shit. Mind you, that's any anime, but still, in harems, it's kind of chill, and I like the relaxed moments and I like the whole character interactions. One of my favorite harems that has the character interactions is probably Mayo Chiki, which is the thing I just finished watching probably a little while ago, not even that long ago. I like shows that have the characters interact in fun ways and aren't taken so seriously. What I kind of hate though, and this is probably the complaint almost any guy will have with a harem, is why the fuck all the main characters have to be such bitches. Like, this is what aggravates me, and this is what almost every harem. I think the only exception I've run across, I haven't run across any. Actually, no, I haven't run across any male harem lead, that doesn't get out of this. I'm talking about a harem lead who is legitimately a badass and can be on the equal ground with the females. None of these characters do that, and I think I know is because they're trying to show off the girls, and that's why they never do that. But at the same time, I'm sitting here like, You think the male characters can't go in there and do some badass shit? Now, I mean, we've had some exceptions. Like for example, I forget his name. The main character of Samurai Girls is a legit samurai, and he is a badass in his own right. The problem is that he barely does anything. That's the reason why he can't, consider being fall on the box, because in the end of it, he's barely still doing any fighting. Minato from Sekirei necessarily isn't a strong character, but he is known for being, being a hidden genius in a sense, which we find out later, which to me was really redeeming, except for the fact that, you still have the fact that he's not doing anything badass. We just know he's smart. And then every other harem just has like these main characters who have like good like qualities in their personality, but don't actually have any badassery behind them. The only anime I've run across that has any badassery behind them is probably that has like a male and a female on equal ground is probably Yajiro from Grenadier, even though that's not a harem or well, it kind of could be a romance, but not really. Like I just want them both to be on equal ground. I think I've run across a harem that looks like it could be. I just haven't watched it. I believe that one's called Demon King Ayumu. So if anyone's watched that, could you tell me if the main character is like that? Because he looks like he is, but I haven't seen it yet. I actually need to get around to that eventually, but just not right now. Now they're going to the romance portion real quick. It's that a lot of people wonder, just like, well, there's romance in, just normal shoujos and shit like Toradora or Wagneria or, shit like, or Kimi no Dodoke. Those are romance series and they don't have any. It's like, so why do you prefer harem romance to those romances? Well, I mean, because it's not as straightforward. Like, I like the fact that you can get ridiculous shit like Sekirei, or get ridiculous shit like Mahabarajo or Samurai Girls or Mayotsuki or Rosario+Vampire, where they can still do like the ridiculous shit in anime, but still keep it to that. Like for most shoujos, are usually basic shit. Like Toradora, it's like a high school situation. Wagneria, a working situation. Kimi no Dodoke, high school. Like I still like my ridiculousness in my animes and shit. Like I still prefer that. I mean, I still like having that factor in there. But mind you, there are things in those romances that I can't stand. The ones that don't break the mold and are just redundant as shit to me. Like the redundancy that the main girl is going to be the main character's like girlfriend by the end of it all. Because Toradora has that same problem, where Toradora tries to act like it's groundbreaking and it's going to switch it up and do something amazing, and ends up doing something that's stereotypical as shit. Now, mind you, for the show, it quote unquote is stereotypical, but when you really look at it, it's pretty stereotypical. Because Toradora's whole setup is that you have these two characters who like each other's best friends, and so the premise of the show is to like get those two characters to help each other get with those people, but by the end of it, they end up dating each other. That would have been interesting if they hadn't been done already. So it comes off as like, oh, this is supposed to be groundbreaking. That's not groundbreaking. It's kind of redundant, and I kind of wish the series had been straightforward and actually did what it said it was gonna do. Because it's set up to reflect what it was going to do so badly that it didn't leave any like hint in there for ambiguousness. And harems do that shit all the time. Like fucking Mahabarajo, you can't even guess that it's not even funny to guess who's gonna be the fucking which of those girls he was gonna end up with. He was gonna end up with fucking Yuna, because like the entire anime series, even though you introduced Reiko and Ren and Yawase, it was like, come on, Yuna's right there, and they keep pushing Yuna. The same thing for Rosario+Vampire. They kept pushing Mocha. It's like, come on. I like shows like Mayotsuki does the same thing, but Mayotsuki was a little bit more charming with it, in my personal opinion. Which is the other thing I like, is just the charm that some harems have. I mean, at least Sekirei, I will say, is probably the best one I've seen so far that hasn't done this, where it's a little ambiguous. I mean, obviously, it's still kind of pushing Musubi the most for the most, but it's not on such a far off scale. Like Rosario+Vampires is on such a far off scale. It's like retarded for you to think anyone else but Mocha would get with him. I'm like, what's the point of a harem if you're gonna make the main romance be this fucking obvious? It might as well just be a romance. Like, why? Why? Now, mind you, I know the whole point of harems are really to push the whole panty and ass shots, but I kind of like my ambiguous harems. Like, for example, Koriwa Zombie Desuka is a harem. But to me, that had an interesting, ridiculous story and didn't push one couple over the other. Well, no, it kind of does, but it's not as annoying with it. Like, I don't mind if you push one couple, but don't, like, make it so obvious that it looks like you're just being biased. Because for fans of harems, and let's say you like the secondary couple, you can't enjoy that now because you know they pushed it. I think there's another harem I haven't fucked with. I think it's called Dragonauts. I don't know if Dragonauts does that, but it looks like it does that. Well, actually, no, I'm not gonna say Dragonauts because Dragonauts just looks like a fucking romance. There's only like one main girl the main character's with, but you know, my whole thing is that harems have their good points and their bad points. The fan service, you probably wonder why I didn't talk about the fan service that much. That's because the fan service isn't a big deal. Honestly, I don't give a shit if there's fan service in the series. There's fan service in almost any series in some way, shape, or form. Mainly for harems, it's usually the titty, ass, panty shot, lolly, tsundere, moe, fucking bullshit. But, like, for as long as it's not overdone. That's, like, my biggest thing. Like, if it can complement the series without pissing me off, the fan service is a non-factor. And it's not really a pro or a con towards harems. It's kind of just a standard. Like, I expect fan service. But I kind of expect decent romance with a okay story. I never expect the stories to be amazing in harems. But I kind of watch harems for like a decent amount of romance and just cool character interaction. Oh my god, this isn't a harem, but it is a romance, and that managed to give me what I wanted, a good character interaction, even though that one was kind of blatantly obvious. As I said, it wasn't a harem, so it wasn't like I was expecting 6 other characters, but still, you know, you get what I'm saying. There's good points and bad points to these things, and for harems and romance series, those are my pros and cons. You know, if we had some stronger male characters, I'd be good. If we had some more evened out development for all the girls, I'd be good. I like the fact that there are multiple girls. A lot of people don't understand what the appeal is. Sometimes I don't want to I don't want to deal with the same female character a lot, especially if that female character sucks. Like in a lot of other shows, having just one female lead, and if you don't like that female lead, it gets really, really fucking annoying and jarring to deal with. I'm not gonna say Inuyasha, but fucking Hikagome. That's all I'll say about that. And I've just pissed off a lot of viewers with that one. But anyways, this has been going on for way too long, so that's just my thoughts on what I like and dislike about harems and / romance series. Tell me your thoughts on the series that I mentioned, on your thoughts about this whole topic and discussion in general, and yeah. So this has been the Insane Game Freak on AnimeRealTalkTv. Life's a game, play to win, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.